It's been 75 days living life on my terms. I started August 15th, 2020, and I'm going to explain what I've gone through, the positives and the not so positives that I've gone through living in an SUV RAV4. Hello, my name is Angelo Darin with Freedom Mobile Living. I started my modern nomad journey back in August 15th of 2020 in my 2014 SUV RAV4. I showed in a previous video about the build outs, how I went about building each stage of inside in order to make it not only easy but also comfortable. So if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and look at it, but also it'll be entertaining for you as well. Now if you haven't, please subscribe below and hit the notification bell, because every time I do come out with a new video, then you'll get alerted of it and you can be the first to watch it. So thanks for watching. Please tune in. Go. We're entering Yuma Territorial Prison State Historic Park. Hey, this is the outside wall of the prison. Kind of interesting. Anyhow, a lot of people ask me, hey, why'd you start doing this? And really, to tell you the truth, I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know, I was sitting in between sticks and bricks. And within the walls, I'd go to work just like everybody else. I built a career just like everybody else did. The only difference is that when my life started slowing down, and I'm 62 now, when it started slowing down, I'm thinking, what do I do? And I was bored. I was getting depressed. There was days I was getting depressed, and I said, what's going on? So after my research of finding out what was going on within me, I found out it had a lot to do is I had to change things. If I wanted anything to change, I had to change me. That's where I started at. I didn't want to live the last days of my life within the sticks and bricks, just to finally come to a realization that I died. I wanted to make sure every day I lived was to my fullest, so if I did die, I had achieved my dream by living the day prior to my death as a glorious one. And that's really what this is all about. I'm a modern nomad because I want freedom. And ever since I've done this since August 15th, but ever since I've done this, I have had tranquility, I've had peace. Every morning when I wake up in the morning, I feel like getting up, have energy, I'm ready to tackle that day again, because every day is new. And because my front yard and my backyard is different, every day, wherever I drive, it's new. You ever been on a highway and you're going somewhere and you get that real good feeling as you're doing it in the highway? And you get that feeling inside the pit of your stomach? Well, that feeling that you get, I get that every day, just living this life. Now, by no means I haven't done this for years and months and so on. I'm only on my, second month. So, but what I have experienced in the 75 days has actually made me feel like living. Actually, I'm empowered by it all. Not only by that, but also by the people I have met along the journey, where ordinarily I wouldn't have met anybody. You know, not like I do now. I meet new people. I get to find out their stories, and their stories are just amazing. I mean, there's a lot of people suffering out here. They're living on fixed incomes. They don't know what to do. They struggle every month to pay their bills, and every month they're paying, they're trying to get money up to pay their rent. And they get anxiety because of it. It becomes very stressful. Every month they go through all this stress crisis. And that's because you're living in a rat race. Instead of changing your expenses, and one way to do it is where you live. So I chose to live in my RAV4 because, number one, I didn't want to have a trailer or an RV or something that I was camping all the time. I wanted to live in my mobile vehicle. That was my intent. My intent was to live in it. And so by living in it, I got to know how to become comfortable, how to live in a situation or in a style I was accustomed to. Because let's face it, guys, one of the things I see a lot of people doing is as they start doing this journey, they start out taking a shower every day, then they take it every 2 days, and every 3. And I've even heard some people say they take showers like once a week. Now, I can't do that. I have to keep who I am and what I've done when I was in the sticks and bricks. I have to just mimic that in my SUV. And I do that. I do that in every stages, from taking a shower to going number 2, and from eating. For everything I do, I mimic what I did when I was out in the rat race in my sticks and bricks. Now, I also want to give a shout out to 3 people. Bob Wells from RV Cheap Living, Linda over at Serene Simple Life, and then also Chrome and little Cruisy Bear from Van City Van Life. Everything I learned from them on YouTube has been instrumental to enable me to do what I've done and up to this point. Now, obviously, no one ever really explains the curve there is when you start something, especially when it comes to living in a vehicle. There is a curve there where you have to almost get comfortable with it. And the only way to do that, you have to find, what do I do when there's nothing to do? And so you have to find things to do that forces you to have more action, to have more activity, which is healthier for you, but it also puts you in a situation where you have to almost like go out and experience life. Open a horizon, and then maybe experience things you've never experienced before. And that's really what life's about. If I can just experience new things every day, they could be small, they can be large. For some people they're small, some people they're large. But if I can just do that based on me dictating what I do, when I do it, and where I do it, I think you'll be a lot more happier. Now, no matter what, we take those steps, each step. Everybody takes a step in life, no matter what. And we all choose different paths. And sometimes the paths are chosen for us. And sometimes it's chosen because of the way we were taught as we were growing up. You can change that. Someone said to me, if you have problems or you're not happy about the way things are, change you. Because when you change you change everything around you. Well, one thing living with this lifestyle, you do have some items you think you need. Now, Bob Wells from Cheap RV Living told me from the beginning, just get into the vehicle, your mobile vehicle, whichever you choose, whether that be a van, SUV, or a car, or an RV, whatever you get into it, because as you live your life, one thing you're going to find out is you're going to find out what you can accept and what you can't. And I'll give you an example. Not everybody can poop in a bucket. So when I bought my collapsible bucket, my intent wasn't to ever use it. My intent is to have it as an emergency item. So I have other ways in which I do that, just like showers. My intent is not to take a shower. My intent is not taking an outdoor shower all the time. But I want the feasibility to take a shower every day, because I can make it convenient, then I'm going to do it. It's going to be easy to be done. And I'm not going to change me as who I am as a person. The only difference in what I did is moved into a vehicle. So there is stereotype for people that they think about people that live in their vehicles or live in their vans. There's a stereotype that they're all dirty, that they have to do it. You know, this is something I chose from the beginning, and I did it for various reasons. But if you look on the top, I no longer have my carrier. Because as I was going through the desert and came up with a wind, guess what? The carrier got wind of it, the top lid flew off. I stopped, luckily enough, and no one got hurt, but I stopped and I lost a couple things. I lost a chair, I lost my shower tent, and then a curtain rod, and that's all I did lose. So luckily no one got hurt, but I did make a claim with the company, and we'll see what they do about it. They reached back out to me and told me they're going to look into it. I sent them pictures. That way they'll have some evidence that it actually really happened, and we'll see what they do. And I will keep you posted on what happens or what I hear, if I hear anything from them. So a lot of this living this way transpired from two things. One thing is the ability to change my backyard, change my front yard just by where I travel. Also, the ability to reduce my costs or my overhead, because now I don't have a rent payment. I have that extra money that obviously I'm not going to spend every month, so I can use that money to maybe touch other people's lives, maybe use that money to enhance my life, because obviously it costs some money to add things to the vehicle. So it's not cheap, so it does cost something. So that's my rent right there. And so I just try to get to a point where I spend my money for my rent, and I look at it as an investment in the car or the way I live. But it enables me to go where I want to go, where I want to go, when I want to go, especially with no one else dictating. So I'm living life on my terms. Now I also want to give a shout out to three people. Bob Wells from RV Cheap Living, Linda over at Serene Simple Life, and then also Chrome and little Cruzy Bear from Van City Van Life. Everything I learned from them on YouTube has been instrumental to enable me to do what I've done up to this point. Now obviously no one ever really explains the curve there is when you start something, especially when it comes to living in a vehicle. There is a curve there where you have to almost get comfortable with it. And the only way to do that, you have to find, what do I do when there's nothing to do? And so you have to find things to do that forces you to have more action, to have more activity, which is healthier for you, but also it also puts you in a situation where you have to almost like go out and experience life. Open a horizon, and then maybe experience things you've never experienced before. And that's really what life's about. If I can just experience new things every day, they could be small, they can be large. For some people they're small, some people they're large. But if I can just do that based on me dictating what I do, when I do it, and where I do it, I think you'll be a lot more happier. Now, no matter what, we take those steps, each step. Everybody takes a step in life, no matter what. And we all choose different paths. And sometimes the paths are chosen for us. And sometimes it's chosen because of the way we were taught as we were growing up. You can change that. Someone said to me, if you have problems or you're not happy about the way things are, change you. Because when you change you change everything around you. You know, sometimes it's not about us. If I look back and I say to myself, I never took that journey on August 15th, if I never plunged to do this, I wouldn't have been in a position on a few occasions throughout this time, and it's been a short period of time, where I influenced another person's life. So really, that's what I believe life is about. The more we can influence other people's life, the more fulfilled, the more happier we'll become. Hey guys, thank you for everything. If you want to support the channel, I would love that. You know, if you subscribe below or hit the notification bell and we can alert you as soon as I come out with a new video, I would really love if you could do that and encourage others to do that as well.